Welcome to the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in our world. I am Sandy Spady, your host, and welcome to the show. Before I introduce my lovely guests, we like to have a little fun around here called Deion Bass Songbirds Cocktails. Deion, what do you have cooking over there?
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning.
I am cooking up something delicious, and today we are going to be doing a vodka kiwi smash. So as you can see, I already have pineapple in the bottom of my glasses because I do want to use pineapple to give it a little bit of that tropical feel, really get us back to Hawaii, and so after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour our kiwi. Now, kiwi is going to add a well-desired texture. It's also going to add some beautiful kiwi flavors, and then we're going to add a little lime. All right, and after we add our lime, we're just going to add a little Deep Eddy's vodka. Now we know what time it is after we get done. It's time to shake them. Perfecto. Now these are wonderful for patio. They're wonderful for, I drink them all year round, but that's a me thing, not a you thing. And I just want everyone to enjoy and have a blessed day. Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Deion.
Anytime.
Alrighty, let's toast
Cheers.
to this scrumptious little Well, that's refreshing.
Pineapple with the kiwi.
Very refreshing. All right, audience, I have just a little whippersnapper here. She is changing the world, and she's actually traveled the world, which it's really, when I read that, I was like, wow, she's been everywhere. So Kathy Nguyen, she is a content creator, social media strategist, passionate about making digital spaces more engaging, approachable, and fun. With a background in marketing across nonprofit, corporate, and tech. Plus, studying abroad with experiences. This is what I really like. Budapest, Tokyo, and a prestigious U.S. State Department fellowship in Germany. She brings a global, she's been everywhere, adaptable prospect to every project. She helps brands move beyond a stagnant cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Boring marketing into fun and playful. Kathy, welcome.
Hi.
So nice
Thank
to
you so
see
much for having me.
I love this. Kathy, when I read that, I'm like, Budapest, Tokyo, Germany. How'd you get there? How'd that happen? Like, that is super cool.
I wish I could say it was like some deeper spiritual calling, but really, my first boyfriend had broken up with me in college.
Like, I'm out of here to Budapest.
So I said, oh gosh darn it, I have these big feelings and there's more in the world to see than this small town first boyfriend breakup. And I ended up getting back together with him 4 months later. But anyways, that did fizzle out. And it really just encouraged me that it was something that I've always wanted to do, whether that was going to be a semester in my undergrad or, everyone does like a 3-week backpacking trip after they graduate. And I decided I don't want to wait. I'm going to go for it now. That was a big regret I had heard from other folks. So I just pulled the trigger and I couldn't decide between Europe or Asia. So I said, I'm going to do both.
Wow. Yeah. Now, was that through college or is that just on your own, or tell us?
That was through my college. I did bilateral exchange in Budapest that first semester. And then I just said, I'm going to go full send this year, and I think I was home for 6 weeks, and then I went to the Netherlands for a month, and then straight to Tokyo for 4 months. So I just kept going.
Now, I feel like all this traveling has really opened up and broadened your right? Your story about how you can share other stories, right? Because you're not just in the U.S. Like you experience experiences, right? And I know I asked you, but I feel like this is time to ask you if you had a movie to, show what your life is about. What is it?
I would say that movie would be The Princess Diaries.
Yes. Okay, share that. Why is that?
With that character, Mia Thermopolis, she is just a little bit quirky, tries not to be in the center of attention, but of course she has this destiny that's set out for her that it's for her, and that's how it kind of felt with me. I've always been a little bit of a firecracker of sorts. I mean, I try to downplay it, but I've never really been used to the attention that I get just from speaking my silly little opinions. And so this last year has really been about, one, settling roots down in Omaha. That's been really new for me to settle down. Two, really figure out what my idea and identity of community is. And then three, just feeling safe to take up space.
Yes.
It's like, I've always talked about this synonym, but I always say it's my spotlight. It's just my name on it. No one else can get into it. But it always felt like whenever I tried to get into it, that it just, it burned.
Yeah.
And now I'm just learning to just take it in stride. I don't have to do it perfectly, but it's been exciting.
Well, let's share about your marketing experience, because you have a ton of marketing experience. You worked with agencies, and just share with the audience everything you've done as far as your career.
Oh my gosh, I really hit the ground running when it came to being so eager to get internship experience. So everywhere from corporate, writing social media and working with teams in Europe about bridge girders and light poles, to Midtown Crossing at Turner Park, doing the events and marketing there as an internship. Of course, doing tech startup, I've worked under some fabulous content managers, brand managers. So I really wanted to go in with a very well-rounded background for marketing. I feel like when you do go into marketing, you have to be a Jane of all trades. And it also helped me to figure out like what the heck I want to do. And then, of course, I was able to really combine that by going over to Germany, and with the fellowship, they select about 75 folks across the U.S. to represent them in a transatlantic exchange with Germany. So Germany sends 75, we send 75 folks, and it's to further transatlantic relations, and they do a really diversified cohort to fully represent the U.S. So it wasn't all marketers, and it felt really nice to just go over there and kind of share more about American culture and come back with German culture. And I feel like since I've kind of left my Omaha bubble, I really bring that like unique global perspective, a little different, but I mean, I think that little like pinch of difference always been like me in general.
Yes.
So
I love that. What can you share? You went, internationally travel. Did you know anyone, or did you just jump in and go?
oh my gosh, it was so scary. I hadn't even been on a plane when I went to Budapest.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrifying. It's still crazy to think. I would probably say that was one of the most terrifying times in my life. Was never been on a plane, never really left Omaha, never really been to the East or West Coast, and I'm like, let's go to this country. They don't even use euros. Didn't know a single soul. Luckily, I did have a friend who studied abroad there, and he connected me with one of his friends that was still living there. So like I had someone pick me up, but it was crazy. In Omaha, the only trains you see are at the Durham Museum, and I was super sheltered, and I didn't really know how much they use trains abroad, and that's so silly to think about. And so it was the wildest experience I've had, and I'm so grateful for it.
And how do you overcome that fear? Like, it had to have been scary. You've never been on a plane, and you jump on a plane to Budapest. What inside of you, how did you overcome that fear? Like excitement, or I'm just going to do it, or because it's scary. I've done a lot of international travel, but never on my own.
Gosh, I mean, I was sweating buckets, and I wish I could say there are, a proven strategy to overcoming this. But I think even for me, and sometimes I have to say, like, buckle up, buttercup. I mean, you can do it with the fear alongside you, but like, we're doing it. Yeah. And it's so scary, and I'm just trying to and I wouldn't say it's like a destination of like, I am so brave and I'm there and I can overcome anything. I think I do a lot of things today with fear, and I think the only way I can truly overcome that is by doing, and that's what's also brought me here today with you.
Yay, I love that. You know, I read somewhere that they said do something that you're really afraid to every day, something. And then your confidence and your curiosity and your eagerness to explore more grows.
And that I've never been devoid of or lacking. The curiosity has been the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I think that's great. So as far as marketing, what made you pick marketing, right? I mean, before, I did TV, advertising, radio, print, but now social media, like you have to have a social media manager. There's so much to do. I mean, I know, the basics, right? Consistency, make sure you stand out, be your own image and branding, but now you have all these platforms. What made you pick marketing?
So I like to say as a Z-lennial of sorts, kind of half and half between the generations. I did have a chance to grow up without computers and having an iPhone glued to me, but I got in there a little bit later with my iPhone. And I just have to say I really always loved how interactive it's been from the get-go, expressing. I think I can be a character of sorts at times, and social media is just one avenue for me to express that and for others to express that. I'm a big nerd for good storytelling, and that's across like movies, books. I'll watch like explainer videos on YouTube to get really into the nitty-gritty. A bad habit of mine is I will watch a movie with like Wikipedia pulled up on my phone so I can make sure I'm not missing any plots, any details, and stuff like that. So I like looking at the little details, the things that are unspoken. How does the wardrobe contribute? How does the gosh, what's that word I'm thinking of? How does the score contribute to a movie? I'm even there.
She's really in depth. I love it.
Even the Princess Diaries movie, a phenomenal score in that. And so it's just the little subtle ways that we can bring that storytelling more alive. So moving away from that like cookie cutter static storytelling and more about what matters. Yeah. And I know that's always said in marketing, what matters, but how do we take, what matters and get it to a place where folks are hooked and they want to listen and maybe they'd act too.
Well, I know you did a video for me when I public spoke at the UNO conference, and boom, 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 she's done. Tons of views. Everyone's like, you look like you're having so much fun. Like, it's an eye, right? You can look at all the pictures that you took. You're a photographer too. And to know which ones to put in that reel to make it look like I had a good time, because I did have a good time. And then to have that show the world, right? You want to show the world, really, your good times or bad times, your story.
1000%.
Yeah. So I love that you say, let's make storytelling fun, right? What is that your phrase? What do you say?
Yeah, let's make social media fun again.
Yeah.
I just feel like right now, and I've been creating content since 2013, me and my little tripod doing Target hauls back in 2013 for a school supply haul. Really silly. And I feel like for the longest time when social media really kicked off, you had everyone grasping for like really aesthetically pleasing feeds, having the perfect intro, no stutters, cutting out the ums and the ohs, and occasionally I will do that too. But what I've noticed in the last couple of years shifting, and I do think AI has kind of contributed to that, has been, things have been too perfect, and I feel like people are getting a little bit sick of that perfection culture, and that's why I feel like, a common hook I'll see is when people start the video and then put the phone down. That's actually a very convenient hook. It makes it look like, oh, I just caught you on your way out, or oh, I just caught a moment, and it's so planned. But it makes it think like you're exclusively with me, like having a bestie on FaceTime, like, oh my gosh, look at what just happened. And for me, that's been cool to see like kind of the rules for social media content creation get broken. Like right now it feels like there are no rules. Everything kind of goes, and that's what's made social media a little bit funner for me. So like even the video that I made for you at that event, in the past I would have made something more
like professional.
More, yeah, exactly. Yeah. More professional, more like you all smiling, and kind of the same clips over again and again. And that's not what you don't do the same thing over and over again at these conferences. You're up, you are moving, the crowd is engaged. And so that's why I really love incorporating the different POVs. Some shots from behind you, some shots in front of you, some shots where I'm of course, not even, we don't have a gimbal yet, but so this is me gimbaling and tracking
we
you.
have one, but I didn't figure out how to use it yet. Caleb,
Yeah.
you got to give us that lesson. But you did it. Yeah.
And I mean, especially for you, you are not somebody that's flat in IRL, in real life, and that's not what I think your social media should be. So like that is it's so fun, and I think now I'm really getting into my own social media content creator, where I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna go with what my gut and feels good, and that's sometimes that's a bit hard in the Midwest, where social media tends to be a little bit more conservative. And with that conservative strategy, you have a lot more clients who are just a little bit more afraid to be a little bit more edgy. And by edgy, I mean like incorporating some or there's this really funny trend, like my Gen Z social media intern edits my videos, and it's just someone saying like either the same key phrases again and again, or some cut of all these ums and ohs, and it's getting fun again. It just is.
It's like this. Okay, I'm a public speaker. I'm a keynote public speaker. I took Toastmasters. I taught a public speaking course. But the real thing that people want today is they want realness. They want genuine, like just be you, right? And sometimes when I'm public speaking, I forget why I'm at. But that's being real. People want to see real people. When you're too perfect, then they think you're unapproachable. And you want to be approachable. You're going to show your mistakes. You're going to mess up. We're all going to mess up. We're all going to mess up. And I think, like you said, those trends now, it's like it's okay to be you and to do those ands and ums, even though that still drives me crazy. But it's okay because we're not perfect. And nobody wants to see perfect people anymore. They want to see real connections.
And I think even with the rise of AI, and I'm certainly not anyone who's against the use of AI, I just don't think it's humans versus AI, when it's really going to be humans with the tool of AI. I think AI is going to be a great integration, but of course, I think by now we all can tell the Chat GPT tone of voice, and that's why it's more important now than ever to make sure that what you're saying is really aligning with the audience you're trying to create, and it's creating the sort of community that you want to see in person, but translated on social media.
Yeah, that's interesting because you still have to be your own personality. You can use it as a tool. I like that. Use it as a tool, but still shine brightly, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of your job? What do you like to do the most? Like, my ideal customer is this.
I would say my ideal customer is, well, they're going to be folks that are just like me. I'm a little bit different and a little bit out there. And there has to be a willingness on all sides to just explore the social media lines. You know, something that I used to get super nervous about was filming content for my clients. Like, I thought I had to be like, okay, I need to have like the script and the shot list completely well planned out A to Z. And that's just not the case. What I've found come with a little bit of a rough plan, but get there. And how it's probably worked out best for me is get there. We have a few pieces of content that we know we want to film, but like I try to be like a fly on the wall a little bit. And I found that I can get the most organic I can get the most organic content just from letting my clients shine in their own craft.
I literally called you maybe a day before and said, hey, will you show up? I'm public speaking at this. I don't know. I think I should get some shots. You showed up. We probably had 2 conversations, like maybe get this shot, and you killed it. The pictures are beautiful. You got all different types of pictures, video, everything. And then before she left, she knocked out this amazing reel. I was like, she just did that sitting here and she's done. Like, you were amazing at your job. And I think your quirkiness, your differentness really has an eye, right, to see things. And that's a talent.
I appreciate that.
You're
that
welcome.
was so
it was
sweet.
so good. I was like, oh my God, can you do more? Okay, yes, I think she will. What is it that you find working with clients that maybe they're stuck in their old ways? Like, they're like, I want this, I don't want to talk. Like, how do you get your customers or clients to really open up and be themselves?
I love that question. I think even for me, I had such a fear of taking space and being seen. And I would say I didn't really know how to go about it. And when we talked about earlier, how do you overcome these terrifying, big, scary dreams that you have? And it's just doing. And even showing up for your event, I was a little terrified too. And I'm like, you're my mastermind coach.
Mastermind coach, let's do this.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I just want to do a really good job. And, half the times, one, stress is really great for performance enhancing. That's a proven fact. But two, we don't usually need like half the stress we put on ourselves. One of my favorite idols is Ina Garten, the Barefoot Contessa, and she just released her memoir, which is Be Ready When the Luck Happens. And it's all about her realizing like she didn't know exactly what she wanted to do, but she's like, you know what, I feel like I just need to follow the fun, follow what brings me joy, and everything else will fall into place. And
So true.
that's what I've been doing.
So true, right
Yeah.
here. I need that book. What did she say? Follow the fun?
Yeah, follow what brings you joy, follow the fun, and the rest will fall into place.
I'm going to use that in my speech.
Yeah.
Follow the fun. Because then you're free to be you. So many professionals, they get the job that pays good, that they're on, that their parents want them to do. And I've worked with them, and then I look at them and I'm like, you're married to your job, but do you love it? Because so many people want either the title or the money, or they want to please others. I'm like, please you. What's pleasing you? And it's so important. You have to follow the fun. You have to follow your passion. And then everything else falls in place. So what do you want to do in the future? What's your big goal?
I'm going to marinate on that for just a second.
Okay.
Big goal.
Okay.
So I would say my big goals for the future right now, I'm really taking off with doing freelance content creation and social media management. I feel like the way because I've really, from tech startup to corporate to agency life, I've seen how it's done in many different sectors and in different ways, and I've never seen it done how I do it. And I always was scared to even go in that direction. And really, that's my strength, and that's what I want to lean towards. That's what I've been working towards, and that's what I will be working towards. It's definitely not like there's an end journey to it. I think it's going to be the process and the journey, and it's going to keep being scary, but I'm just going to keep leaning on the fun.
And I think that, you have it mastered down how you want to do it. You have the experience, and now it's just like coming up with the program, right? Coming up with how you can help your clients, and just keep getting more clients and keep reaching those goals.
Yeah.
What's something fun that you want to do? Like before I die, I want to go, hopefully I want to do this. Like I want to go to Ireland and Irish dance right there on the main street because I'm from O'Neill and I grew up dancing on shamrocks and I'm like, I got to go to Ireland.
I want to go with you.
Okay, let's do it. We're going to do it right here. Anyone else out there? And just be free and do something fun. Dance with the Irish hotties. Yeah.
So I've been a lot of places in the
Yes.
world, and the one place I haven't been yet is Vietnam. That's where my family is from, and we have a family trip tentatively in the works. But that I want also like you, I want to go back and see the motherland. And I've been to so many places, but I feel like going there will feel so fulfilling for my heart because I've never been, and my dad's never taken any of us there. And I think it'll be a big once-in-a-lifetime trip for me.
I think that's an awesome goal.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought of as we're sitting here? Older people, they retire and then they have bus trips or they go on trips together. And I think, why don't we do it now? Like our age, well, I'm a little bit older, but like now and do those bus trips and go together and do those experiences. I guess we all have to work, but it's a nice
and
short
you know
thought.
what? Heartbreak did that for me. Heartbreak was my catalyst.
Yeah.
And then I kind of worked out with getting a little bit of the travel bug and the pandemic. But honestly, I really just take things one step at a time. And, folks always talk about their 1-year plan or their 5-year plan, 10-year plan. And I couldn't have told you I'd be right here a year ago either.
I know.
And thanks to like Ina Garten, I've learned that it's okay to be somebody who kind of tends to fly by the seat of their pants. Yeah. And now I feel more encouraged to be more myself, which means maybe I don't always have a plan. I mean, that's why I was sweating when we talked about like the shot list for that event even, and why did I even worry? I had so much content.
You have so much. It's so much fun. That's where you got to do more videos.
Yeah.
And they were good. So you also did photography, right? And I noticed that in those pictures, you had such great eye for pictures. Do you still want to do photography with your clients?
Yes. So first off, thank you. Before I went to Germany for that year, I was doing freelance photography, and having worked under the brand managers that I have in my internships, that was probably the most crucial learning I had for me, especially the corporate one. She would just take a red pen and like annihilate the copy I wrote for her, but it really refined for me, how do you want to communicate as the brand, for the brand, with the imagery and everything? And that's why I feel like I really go into social media management with a really content first approach, because I know that the photos that I take for you, it's not just going to be for your social media. You might want to use that big group photo in a magazine, and what do you need for that? You need white space, because I have made social media content before, and what did I need more of? White space.
I love that. I think I got to reach out to a magazine, because you took a great picture.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone there that were like, oh my God, that's a spot on. And that's me going, being crazy. Did the other speakers ask to like get everyone together for a good picture? No, I always do, because I love showcasing that moment, those amazing. The front pictures of the girls going, yeah.
I thought so
I
too.
mean, it was a capture moment. Yeah, you see those looks. And they can do so much more.
I've always loved photography, and that's something that I really want to incorporate with my social media management and content creation. I've always had a love for it, that composition, the rule of thirds, and really seeing also how content, oh my gosh, I use a content first approach, because content can be so versatile, and you just got to make it versatile. So even making sure the photo isn't too tight in, that's probably one of my biggest gripes, and that's one of the things as I progressed in my own photography career was when I elevated myself, is incorporating amazing white space, not even in just events like this, but portraits, brand shoots, etc. You can use photos for your website, your social media, the media
So
kits.
much.
There's
Yeah,
so
media
much.
kits,
And
so much.
yeah, for me, I love seeing how it all works together.
Well, we're getting close on time. So how can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram. My username is @KathyIDK. Also my Facebook, look up Kathy Nguyen, and probably pop over to Sandy's pages, because you might see me as a face on there.
She's going to be on there. I really like showcasing my people. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You're so talented. Remember, just be you. Be you, have fun, follow the fun, play, dance, play games, but just have fun. Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I think we shall.